Hey, Mr. Clash here, and War Wednesday, another recap. Okay, so this week, this first week of War Wednesday is a chock-a-block one. Okay, so as you can see here, this is NDL. This is an NDL match, the SJONNIES versus Welsh semi-pro division. Before we get into the call out of six packs and whatnot, just have a look at this. 99% from the Raging Spider. Oh, how harsh is that? Had a bit of a win. Just have a quick look at the percentage, 97.26 versus 95.17. So they won on stars and won on percentage as well. So what we're going to have a look at is 2 Town Hall 11 attacks, 2 Town Hall 10 attacks, and 3 Town Hall 9 attacks. They all show a little bit something different, something interesting. Now, before we get into the attacks, just a quick shout out to the 6-star people. Town Hall 11 6 stars, to Barbarian Horde, Town Hall 10 6-pack for the War, Jason Baller. And for the Town Hall 9 6-packs, we have TCI, William 2, Corey, Captain Crunch, Benny Fly, Hellcat, and Can't Fit My Name. Okay, so let's get into the Town Hall 11 attacks first. And I did choose this one because I just thought it reminded me, as you see, I'll just wait for it to start up. Then I'll tell you what it reminded me of, okay, when it gets going. So here we are waiting. As you can see, I thought this was interesting for a few reasons. One is a number of spells devoted to mobility. Now, if you'd used 3 jump spells in this case, it still would have been the same spell usage for mobility. That is, 6 spell places has been used to mobile the troops through the base. So Earthquake obviously around the Eagle Clan Castle area, and here we all come. It kind of reminded me a little bit of a Town Hall 9 Witch attack, the way that the troops all came in, all got deployed. Nice Grand Warden ability used on the troops that are getting targeted by the Eagle Artillery. Nice little rage spell down there. Now the Inferno Towers, they were a little bit of a concern as I watched this attack, watching this Inferno Tower over here on the left hand side just going to town until the Queen gets over there and she's able to take care of it, but it's just doing a tremendous amount of damage, getting rid of a lot of bowlers and a lot of troops, and the Queen has just taken it out. So Queen's ability and King's ability still up the sleeve. Plenty of Witch Skeletons over there with the Grand Warden and the King. And then, of course, you've got the other Inferno Tower over there as well. 36 seconds left on this attack, so the rest of the base is getting wiped out in 36 seconds. Loads of skellies on that right-hand side over there, so massive amounts of distraction. There's no splash damage over there. There's just the Inferno Tower, which is trying to target each skelly at a time, just get one, get one, get one. So it's just a slow process to get them, to try and get all the skellies and so on and so forth. All the barbs, look at all the skellies at the bottom. So tremendous amount of troops left on this attack. So yeah, just thought it reminded me a little bit of a Town Hall 9 type of a witch attack, but hey, worked at Town Hall 11. So let's go have a look at the next Town Hall 11 attack, which is on base number 5. And this is from Barbarian Horde, who of course is one of the people that got a Town Hall 11 6-pack. And you can see a nice little lot of witches and bowlers and a couple of loons as well. So coming in with the standard healed bowlers at Town Hall 11, we are seeing a little bit of that. So as soon as I saw that, I anticipated we were going to have a clan castle full of giants come down the middle with 2 healers, and I wasn't too far wrong with that. I was expecting the other 2 healers to come on a little bit sooner, like almost straight away. So we've got the enemy clan castle coming out, got a baby dragon, 1.5 minutes left in this attack, and the rest of the base is toast. So it was almost like the longest part of the attack was really getting the funnel set to try and get the troops into the middle of the base. So the other healers have gone down now. They're helping keep up whatever they can, obviously. Bowlers healed left at the top, or the healed bowlers and witches up at the top left, so they're going to try and take out that little pocket of weapons up the top down. You've still got the Inferno Tower and another jump spell down. So again, we're seeing 6 spell places or spaces being used for mobility through the base. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, depending on how you want to look at it, if that's how it's got to be, then that's just how it's got to be. I did do a little bit of experimenting with my Town Hall 10 on bringing 3 jump spells, just like you might have brought 3 jump spells with a Town Hall 9 Witch attack, and a Rage and a Heal, and basically trying to make a Town Hall 10 version of the Town Hall 9 3 jump, 1 Rage, 1 Skelly, 1 Poison type attack that I'm pretty sure everybody knows is my favourite version. Trying to make a Town Hall 10 version of that. Now, what I did find was I did also bring a bunch of wizards in, so I tried to make the same number of troops of each just to try and make it nice and easy to train up. And strangely, I was having a little bit of success with that, some pretty decent success with that troop combination. So anyway, this is Barbarian Hordes 3-star attack. So let's move on to the Town Hall 10s now. We're going to have a look at a couple of different styles of Town Hall 10 attacks. We're going to have a look at number 9 first. From War Machine, the attack on number 9. So I can't remember why I liked this one. There was a reason for it. I think it was because it's all over in a minute and a half. So here we have a max Town Hall 10 that's getting wiped out in a minute and a half. So it's not your total 100% standard just bow witch attack. I mean, it kind of is. Because it's got bowlers and witches, but some Valks have been thrown into this mix as well, and I think the Valks kind of lend a bit of a hand. They lend a little bit of extra distraction. They lend a little bit of extra destructive power when they come into the base, trying to deal with, say, witch skellies and some other things, maybe distract an Inferno Tower a little bit. You'll notice that there is the skeleton spell that has been brought in, and just pay attention to where that skeleton spell actually gets used. So we've got the next jump spell down. There we go. So we've got the skeleton spell getting used. It's distracting the Inferno Tower, but also at the same time it's distracting the king. So the skeletons will target the king. The king and the Inferno are both trying to deal with the skeletons from the skeleton spell, and while they're doing that, they're not targeting any of the larger troops, such as the bowlers, which might want to take them out. So there's a good lot of bowlers at the bottom side here. And basically your main type troops are all gone at this stage, so you've just got your giant and bowlers taking out the last Inferno Tower. Your heroes are down, so it's all of just those ancillary troops with the witches, bowlers, and tremendous amount of skelly. So that's what I liked about this attack, that it was all over in a minute and a half, and it just had a good lot of troops left over. So let's have a look at one of, I think it was Jason Baller's attacks at Town Hall 10, one of his 6-pack attacks, and I think it was, yeah, okay, so I like this one because I like the change in the Queen walk on this particular attack. So all too often, or most of the time, what you'll see is you'll see the Queen designed to go into the base. Now, in this case, I don't think it really mattered, but there's a nice little bit of a funnel. You've got the bowlers coming down here. If the Queen paths around to the left, which is kind of what I think she was there for, because there's just way too much stuff on the left-hand side to really have her get all of that done and then jump into the base. And so if you look at all that trash on the left-hand side, it just made sense to have something at least go along that side, because if you have a look at how the bowlers and everything are pathing along the inside of the base, it just would have made it a little bit difficult for them to take care of the inside of the base. And then you can see these two expos over on the right hand side. Would have been difficult for them to take care of this inside part of the base here where they are now, and then also take care of this outside of the part, as well as getting it over to the expo. So we'll just speed this up a bit now because it's slowing down, and there's a minute and a bit left, so we don't need to see it for a full minute. We'll just speed it up so we still get to see what's going on without losing ourselves in the speed. So the healers are keeping the bowlers up at the moment. The main threats of the Inferno Towers have gone down. The Queen with a couple of archers are still up. Now keep your eye on the Queen as with her special ability when she's going to use Phase the Queen. Oh, so close to going out on that case, but the Queen got a lot of stuff done and actually got those all those weapons out and still survived to the end. So now you've got the bowlers kind of like immortal bowlers at this stage because the healers are keeping them up. So that was Jason Baller's 6-pack. I think that might have been a fresh hit from memory. Okay, let's have a look at the Town Hall 9s now. Now what I've done with the Town Hall 9s is I've picked attacks that I thought were a little bit interesting, a little bit different than the normal sort of attacks that you see. And no, there are no witch attacks in these Town Hall 9 replays. So what we've got is this TCI had a 6-pack war. Got a nice little attack here. Again, it's over in less than 2 minutes, 1 minute 40 something by the time the troops had come down onto the base. And obviously you can see there's balloons and lava hounds, so we have a good idea, we know what's coming. Now the interesting thing about this, knowing what's coming, is that all the air defense is at the top. So that the attacker, TCI, is not trying to come in, or TC1, is not trying to come in and take out the air defense as a priority. So a lot of the time with these Gobo Lalo attacks, you're coming in, you're taking out 2 air defenses on your way in to get the queen, and it's all kind of around about at the same time. But you'll notice here there are 2 jump spells being used, a rage spell, and there's a heal spell left, and there's only 1 haste spell on the board. So here we go, all the heal spells being used now. So there's only 1 spell left for the balloons, and that is a haste spell. So this is what I found was very, very intriguing about this attack. Lovely deployment of the balloons. Nice surgical deployment, 2 loons, 2 loons, 2 loons. Nice use of the haste spell, and all the air defenses down. And before you know it, you just looked at this base and you went, huh, the base is wrecked. Just totally wrecked. Tesla's gone, and now the balloons just doing a little bit of cleanup. You've got a cleanup wizard on the bottom, plenty of minions at the top. And that's it. Game over with the base. Just use the Queen's special ability now to get through the wall a little bit quicker and release a few more archers. Try and get things taken out a little bit quicker than the 1 minute 40 that it was. So that's what I liked about this one. It was a little bit different, showing that you don't always have to target the air defenses as a first priority. In this case, getting a lot of those air targeting point defense out of the way on the way into the Queen. So now we'll go and have a look at attack number on the base. We're going to have a look at base 30. Now base 30 is from Benny. Now Benny is one of the 6-pack people, and he did a 6-pack with hogs. Of course, if you've been following the channel for a little while, you know that I do like a good hog attack. And yeah, so this is a Gobo Ho, so we're going to have some bowlers in it. Now the decision with the Gobo Ho really went well for me anyway, is do you rage the bowlers or do you leave them? And like I like to say, that decision really is one based on how many heals you're going to need for your hogs. So if you feel that you need 3 heals for the hogs, then you can't have a jump and a rage for your bowlers. In that case, you'd have to forego the bowler rage and you just have the jump. Or you forego the jump and break in with wall breakers, and then you can rage your bowlers. So you let that determine, you let the number of heals that your hogs need be the determining factor on whether or not you can have some a rage spell or not for your bowlers. So here come the hogs here. You've got the standard double Tesla with the bomb in the middle on the outside of the base. In this case with that little bit of a moat, obviously designed that maybe some witch skellies or things like that will path around the outside, because that's where the trash mainly is, instead of going to the Tesla. And that way they're on the outside of the wall. Tesla pops and shoots them while they're on the outside of the wall. And if the witches go on the inside, then there's the big bomb in the middle. So the hogs ran over the big bombs. The heal spells kept them alive as needed. You've got a lot of sick hogs there at the moment, and you can see there's a lot of silhouettes and everything. So the skellies were doing a good lot of work, but just too many hogs and too much health on those hogs to be detrimental from the skellies and the last bomb. So I know there's only 18 seconds left, but we'll just speed up the attack. The speed of the cleanup is what we'll speed up. There we go. And now we're going to have a look at the last Town Hall 9 attack for this recap. And number 33. All right. Now this is attack, it's starting straight away. So you've got a balloon draw Going to lure the balloon to get the clan castle. We're going to have one archer over on this side. And then we're going to kill a few things off with the Skelly spell. The interesting thing was actually just reminded me that we faced a, I guess you'd say, somewhat engineered clan in Guns and Honey, faced a somewhat engineered clan in a random spin. And the thing that I notice about a lot of engineered clans is the obsession with luring the clan castle. It's like they don't want to attack the base and kill the clan castle on the way in. They always want to lure the engineered bases, always seem to want to lure the clan castle over to the corner, then deal with the clan castle, and then effectively quite often just spam all their troops in and just dump their spells, I guess, in a somewhat spammy fashion, and usually because they're bullying down, like they're dipping, which is why they're engineered. There's often a lot of use of the balloon type attacks going on. So in this case here, you've basically, I would just call it like a Sui Lalo attack. So you've still got 11 loons to deploy and 2 hounds coming in. All 4 air defenses are up. Nice use of spells in this attack that I thought. Lovely surgical deployment of the balloons. Good haste spell at the top left there to get onto that wizard tower pretty quickly. On the Tesla Whiz on the left hand side, now you've got a haste heal left after that rage went down, and the enemy queen just went down to raged minions in the middle there. You've still got the wizard on the right hand side. Now if this was me coming in with this wizard, I think I would probably have placed a heal spell. The heal spell does not get placed. I've just given that away, but I just would have gone, no, I'm going to place the heal spell. I don't care. I'm not that confident. If I get a couple of red bombs and a wizard shot, I could lose all my balloons. I'm going to place the heal spell. That's what I would have done. But Grown Manor didn't need to do that. So kept it up. The balloons are up, and they survived. A few did go down with the red bomb wizard combo, but enough survived to keep going. And it really wouldn't have mattered too much anyway, because you have a look at all the pups and the minions, and there was plenty left over. So 8 more seconds and this is cleaned up. There we go. Drop that heal spell in the middle. And that is, or one little builder's hut at the end. There we go, 1 second. And that is it. So that is essentially the war from the SJONNIES versus Welsh, 96 to 95. We'll just have a look at the rundown here. Both teams used all 70 attacks. Attacks lost 3 versus 2, but you know, some of those things are just scout attacks, so they don't really count too much. 26 3-stars versus 25 3-stars. Both sides 3-star Town Hall 11s, and new stars per attack. They don't really mean too much either, especially when you use all of your attacks and some of those attacks are scouts. So 97.3 average destruction. You could see that 97.26 versus 95.17. So that is it for the SJONNIES versus Welsh for week 1 NDL in the semi-pro division. And that is it for, well, I don't know which order you're watching these replays in, on War Wednesday week number 1, or I should just really call it War Wednesday number 1, and then all of the recaps will just have a number that follows. And if you've watched this one out of sync or in sync or whatever, I think you would have already figured that out. So thanks for tuning in, sticking to the end, watching all of these attacks. Like I said, every Wednesday there will be war recaps on Wednesday. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.